What's going on, Motiv Nation? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you guys an in-depth comparison between our three microcell balls. I'm talking Covert Tank, I'm talking Desert Tank, I'm talking Tank Blitz. Stay tuned after the intro. Before we start talking about what Microcell is, I think it's important that we talk about what Microcell isn't. Okay, Microcell is not urethane, despite what a lot of people think and say. It's not some hybrid between urethane and reactive resin. It's chemically different than urethane and reactive resin. So urethane balls do not absorb oil at all. So our microcell balls do absorb oil, but at a fraction of the rate of traditional reactive resin. So what that means is that you're going to get a lot of the characteristics of urethane, but with the continuation down lane of traditional reactive resin. Now, if that sounds like amazing math in your brain, it's because it is. If you guys like this video, make sure to give me a like, a subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date every time I drop a new video. Remember that once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away any logo infusion jersey up to $50. All you have to do to be entered to win is like this video, comment below any Motiv related comment, and of course be a subscriber to my channel. If you guys like this jersey or any of the jerseys in my video, head on over to logoinfusion.com, use my promo code Lewis, and it'll save you 20% off your entire order. We're running a sale right now where you buy 4 jerseys, get the 5th one free, and then you can use my promo code to get 20% off on top of that. So let's talk a little bit about each of the microcell balls, and we'll just go in order from the release date. The first of the microcell balls was the Covert Tank. It features the Torx core, which has an RG of 2.50 and a differential of 0.051. Wrapped around that Torx core is the cover that started it all, the Frixion Microcell polymer cover. It's going to be the cleanest and the fastest of the 3 microcell balls that we have in our current line. And it comes out of the box at a 2000 grit laser scan sand. Next up, we have the Tank Blitz. Now the Tank Blitz got a massive upgrade on the cover from the Covert Tank. It's the Frixion Plus microcell cover, and that plus to me means it got beefed up. Wrapped around the core inside the Tank Blitz is the gear core, which is obviously made famous in the Venom Shock series. It has an RG of 2.48 and a differential of 0.034. So the RG and the differential are both lower than in the Covert Tank. So the ball's going to want to be earlier, smoother, and not flare as much as the Covert Tank. However, the Tank Blitz is the strongest of the 3 microcell balls and can handle the higher volumes of oil that the Covert Tank and the Desert Tank just cannot, simply because of that cover. And last but not least, we have the Desert Tank, or as I like to call it, the Daddy Ball. Those of you who have been watching my channel for a while or know me know that I absolutely love the Desert Tank. I have not stopped throwing it since I got it. It features the Frixion Plus Pearl microcell cover, and then it has the Flux core. The RG is 2.57 and the differential is 0.015 in 15 pounds. The Desert Tank is the most cover dominant of the 3 of the microcell balls. Features the strongest microcell cover that we've made with our weakest core. So because of that combo, it makes it the most similar to urethane, and it's the one that I throw more than the other 2, maybe combined. So for me personally, I use the Covert Tank when there's a lot of friction to the right and I want to keep my angles a little bit shallower. So I throw a lot on like Cheetah or Wolf. The Tank Blitz, I throw it a lot more just because it can handle the higher volumes. I like it a lot on the long patterns when I want to keep my angles a little bit more shut down and keep the ball in front of me. The Desert Tank is the one that I throw the most just because of that core and cover combo. Basically anytime that the gutter is hooking or to the right, into the track is hooking, I'm going to be throwing the Desert Tank. I have been throwing the Desert Tank non-stop since that ball came out. It just matches my game. I'll take you guys out on the lane now so you can see the 3 microcell balls in action. Comment down below and let me know which of the 3 you have in your bag, if not all 3 of them, and let me know which one you thought looked best for me. Thank you guys for joining me as we go in depth between our 3 microcell bowling balls. This is a video that I've been wanting to make for quite some time. After I did the urethane versus microcell ball video on Wolf, I knew that I wanted to do something like that between all the microcell balls on the house shot. I know that some of you guys are going to think that my opinion is biased because I'm on Motiv staff, but if you haven't tried a microcell ball, I highly suggest that you at least try to find a Motiv test drive in your area so that you can see just how good these Microcell covers are. We have 3 bowling balls here in the Covert Tank, the Tank Blitz, and the Desert Tank that all have the base Microcell formula in them, and they are 3 completely unique shapes. I can't even remember the last tournament or even league session that I went to where there wasn't at least one Microcell ball, if not all 3 in my bag. Between the 3 of them, the one that sees the absolute most lane play for me is the Desert Tank, just because it's a ball that I can throw in league as well as a lot of tournaments. Second behind that one is the Tank Blitz. It is the most versatile ball I think in my bag right now. It's something that I can throw on short, as proof in my video where I threw it on Wolf, but also it's a ball that I can throw on house and see a lot of success with. And on the longer patterns where I can keep the ball in front of me, it's really good. And then we get into the Covert Tank, and when the gutter is flying and I have to play straight, this thing is a monster. You're gonna see the most overall hook from the Tank Blitz, but the most shape down lane from the Desert Tank, and then the Covert Tank ends up being like a happy medium between the 3. I've said it a bunch of times, and I genuinely believe this to be true, just in my experiences. If the gutter is hooking and I'm bowling against someone heads up and they're throwing urethane and I'm in the Desert Tank, it's going to be hard to beat me. And that's not like me saying that I'm a better bowler or anything. I just feel like I truly have the advantage over someone who's throwing traditional urethane. So let's talk about what bowlers I think would match up best with what ball. I think if you're someone who is rev dominant, meaning your ball speed might be a little bit low and your rev rate is a little bit higher, I think something like the Covert Tank would be amazing for you. I think also if you're someone who has a lower rev rate and maybe a higher ball speed, I think the Tank Blitz is absolutely the one for you to go with. And then if you're someone who's like, you know, kind of balanced, who likes to play a little bit straighter angles, then the Desert Tank is going to be the one for you. And the Desert Tank is the one that I match up best with because I'm, you know, rev to speed matched. I really like playing straight and I really like playing the gutter. So for me, the Desert Tank, that's why it's the one that stays in my bag the most. Let me know down below in the comments what core you would like to see in a future ball with the Microcell cover on it. I know that for me, I would like to see something like a high RG, medium to high differential core, something like the Sidewinder with maybe like the Desert Tank cover, like the Frixion Plus Pearl Microcell cover. I think one very important thing that I'm not sure if I've mentioned or not is that Microcell polymer is not urethane like we said, but it's also not reactive resin. I think the biggest thing for me with these Microcell balls is that they are closer to urethane than traditional reactive resin. I get all that control from urethane, which is what my eyes like to see anyway. I like to see the ball be earlier and be a little smoother and not boomerang down lane. But you still get that continuation that reactive resin gives you. So when I'm bowling on something short like Viper, Cheetah, Wolf, etc., you get that early control like urethane does, but you also have the ability to create shape, especially through the fronts. One of the big issues for me, and I see it happen a lot with a lot of bowlers, even on TV, like when you're watching the pros, a lot of them start in urethane, and then once they have to chase it inside the pattern, you know, for me left because I'm right-handed, the ball just absolutely bails down lane. But when you're in these Microcell polymer balls, the further inside you get to the pattern, they still want to create that shape down lane that traditional reactive resin, that traditional urethane just does not offer. Now, do I believe that every single bowler needs to have a Covert Tank, a Tank Blitz, and a Desert Tank in their bag every single time they go to the bowling alley? No, not everyone is going to match up with every single bowling ball, and I know that. There's plenty of bowling balls that I don't match up with. Now, do I believe that everyone should have at least one of these bowling balls? I 100% believe that every single bowler should have at least one of the 3 Microcell balls that we have in their bag. One of the questions I get asked a lot about these Microcell balls is what layout I would suggest. So for me personally, I like to put like these smoother layouts on the ball, something like a 3 to 3.5 inch pin, or even a short pin like a 1 to 1.5 inch pin. Let's keep this conversation going in the comments. Let me know what layouts are working for you guys, and if you guys haven't done so, join the Motiv Blue Facebook group. I'll leave a link to the group as well as all my other social media in the description.
If you guys ever have any questions at all about any of the Motiv balls or anything Motiv related, you can always ask me in the comments, and I respond to every single one. Stay motivated, guys.
Well, all right, folks, there you have my in-depth comparison between our 3 microcell balls. Let me know down below in the comments which one of the 3 you like best. Click right here to watch one of my older videos. Click right here to subscribe. Till next time, guys.